நண்பர்களே, அடுத்து நமது சிறப்பு விருந்தினருக்கான அமர்வு தன்னுடைய சிறுகதைகளின் வாயிலாகவும் கட்டுரைகளின் வாயிலாகவும் தமிழக வாசக பரப்பிற்கு பெருமளவில் ஏற்கனவே அறிமுகமாகி இருக்கிற கன்னட எழுத்தாளர் திரு வசுதேந்திரா அவர்கள் இன்று நம்முடன் இங்கு இணைகிறார். அவருடனான இந்த அமர்வினை பேராசிரியர் பத்மநாபன் அவர்கள் ஒருங்கிணைக்கிறார். எழுத்தாளர் வசுதேந்திரா அவர்களை மேடைக்கு அழைக்கிறேன். பத்மநாபன் அவர்களையும் மேடைக்கு அழைக்கிறேன்.
குமரகுபரன் இஷ்டபுரம் கவிதை விருது வழங்கும் விழாவில் இன்றைய சிறப்பு விருந்தினராக எழுத்தாளர், மொழிபெயர்ப்பாளர், பதிப்பாளர், பால் புதுமையினருக்கான களச் செயல்பாட்டாளர் என்று பன்முக ஆளுமை கொண்ட எழுத்தாளர் வசுதேந்திரா அவர்களை நாம் சிறப்பு விருந்தினருக்கான அமர்வில் சந்திக்கவிருக்கிறோம். நம்முடைய அன்பை ஏற்று இங்கு வருகை புரிந்த எழுத்தாளருக்கு நம் அன்பையும் வணக்கத்தையும் முன்வைக்கிறோம். எழுத்தாளர் வசுதேந்திரா அவர்களினுடைய சிறுகதைகள் மோகனசுவாமி என்னும் சிறுகதை தொகுப்பாக தமிழில் வெளிவந்திருக்கிறது. என் அம்மாவை எனக்கு மிகவும் பிடிக்கும் என்ற ஒரு கட்டுரை தொகுப்பு அவருடைய அம்மா பற்றிய ஒரு நினைவு கூறல் நூலாகவும் அது வெளிவந்திருக்கிறது. இது தவிர அவருடைய 5 பைசா வரதட்சணை சிறுகதையும் தமிழில் மொழிபெயர்ப்பாகியிருக்கிறது. எழுத்தாளர் வசுதேந்திரா அவர்களினுடைய சிறுகதைகளை பற்றி ஒட்டுமொத்தமாக ஒரே வரியில் தொகுத்துச் சொல்வதாக இருந்தால் இப்படி புரிந்து கொள்ளலாம். கடவுளின் இருப்பை தக்க வைத்து கொண்டிருக்கக்கூடிய நவீன சிறுகதைகள் என்று அவரை நாம் புரிந்து கொள்ளலாம். அந்த வகையில் எழுத்தாளரினுடைய சிறுகதைகள் குறித்த ஒரு பார்வையை விரிவுபடுத்திக் கொள்ள இந்த அமர்வு நமக்கு துணை புரிகிறது. நண்பர்கள் வினாக்களை மரபுப்படி முன் வைக்கலாம். ஆங்கிலத்திலும் கேட்கலாம், தமிழிலும் கேட்கலாம். எழுத்தாளருக்கு தமிழ் ஓரளவு புரியும். தேவைப்படும் போது நான் என்னுடைய பங்களிப்பையும் செய்ய ஆர்வமாக இருக்கிறேன். மரபுப்படி முதல் வினாவை இந்த அவை சார்பில் நானே முன்வைக்கிறேன். தமிழில் கேட்டுவிட்டு நான் அதை கன்னடத்தில் மிகச் சுருக்கமாக முன்வைக்கலாம் என்றிருக்கிறேன். ஒட்டுமொத்த கன்னட இலக்கியத்தை சேஷகிராவ் போன்ற வரலாற்று அறிஞர்கள் இப்படி 3ஆக பாகுபடுத்தி விளக்குகிறார்கள். 1, பெங்களூரை மையமிட்ட கன்னட நவீன இலக்கியம். 2, மைசூரை மையமிட்ட கன்னட நவீன இலக்கியம். 3, வட கர்நாடக பகுதியிலிருந்து தோன்றி வளர்ந்த நவீன கன்னட இலக்கியம். பெங்களூரை மையமிட்ட நவீன கன்னட இலக்கியத்தில் காலனியத்தின் செல்வாக்கு காரணமாக காலனிய விழுமியங்கள், அவை சார்ந்த மறுவினைகள் பெரிதும் இடம்பெறத் தொடங்கின தொடக்க காலகட்டத்தில். மைசூரை மையமிட்ட கன்னட இலக்கியத்தில் அங்கு அரச ஆதரவு எல்லா கலைகளுக்கும் ஓரளவு இருந்த காரணத்தினால் தோற்றம் கொள்ளும் போதே அது இந்திய தனித்தன்மை, நமக்கான மரபு பார்வை என்பதாக ஆரம்பித்தது. ஆனால் முற்றிலும் மாறுபட்டதாக வட கர்நாடக கன்னட இலக்கியம் இருந்தது. அங்கு ஆட்சி மொழியாகவும் கன்னடம் இல்லை. வேறு எந்த மொழி, எல்லா அரச ஆதரவும் உருது மொழிக்கும் மற்ற மொழிகளுக்கும் இருந்த காரணத்தினால் வெறும் நாட்டுப்புற மரபுகளை கொண்டு கன்னடம் அங்கு தோன்றி வளர வேண்டியதாயிற்று. இது கன்னட இலக்கிய செல்வாக்கையே பாதித்தது என்பது இலக்கிய வரலாற்றாளர்களினுடைய கருத்து. நம்முடைய எழுத்தாளர் வசுதேந்திரா அவர்கள் பெல்லாரி பகுதியில் தோன்றி வளர்ந்தவர். அவருடைய மோகனசாமி சிறுகதையிலும் மற்ற சிறுகதைகளிலும் அந்த நிலம், அந்த வெயில் சார்ந்த நிலம், அந்த பண்பாடு குறித்த சித்தரிப்பு இருக்கிறது. என்னுடைய கேள்வி, இந்த வட கர்நாடக பகுதியிலிருந்து வந்த மரபு எப்படி அவருடைய இலக்கியத்துடைய தொடக்க காலகட்டத்தில் ஒரு வகையில் பங்களித்தது என்று அறிய விரும்புகிறேன். சார், ಶೇಷಗಿರಾವ್ ಅಂತ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಚರಿತ್ರೆ ಬರೆದವರು. ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯವನ್ನು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ, ಆಧುನಿಕ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಅಥವಾ ಮೈಸೂರಿನ ಆಧುನಿಕ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ಉತ್ತರ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಆಧುನಿಕ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಅಂತ 3ಆಗಿ ವಿಂಗಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳ್ಳಾರಿ ಪ್ರಾಂತದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚಿತ್ರಣ ತಮ್ಮ ಮೋಗನಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಕಥೆಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಮತ್ತು ಇತರ ಕಥೆಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಸರ್. ತಮ್ಮ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಂತದ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರೇರಣೆ ಹೇಗಿತ್ತು ಎಂಬುದನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Good afternoon. Namaskara. My Tamil is very, very weak. I can understand a bit, but not much. It's a nostalgic moment because I used to work here in Chennai 30 years back, actually. So my first job was in Chennai. So I was working in 93 in TCS, Tata Consultancy Services. So I'm a software engineer, by the way. So I was working in this Cathedral Road, actually, so near to that Gemini. So I used to work and I used to move around. in Chennai. I never ever thought that I'll become a short story writer or I'll become an author and one day I'll come here and speak to you people. I never thought so. This is something, an interesting moment for me. And as far as this question concerns, I believe an artist can emerge from any place. That is the beauty of art. Okay, so if that is the case, if it's only rich states or rich countries alone have to produce the artists or the authors, means only America would have had the best authors in the world. It's not the case. Even African, Nigerian, Somalians, everyone is writing. So that is the beauty of the art. You don't know from where it comes. Someone becomes a storyteller, and storytellers are there in all societies, all land, all times. There's no barrier there. And for me, like when I started writing the stories, so it was very easy for me because I just used the dialect of my language. So whatever the dialect which was used was slightly different dialect, and started writing in that. And people love dialects actually. So in Kannada, it's highly respected dialect, and they started enjoying it. It's totally a different thing. But believe me, each individual or each author is so unique. Okay, from my district, at least there are 5 to 6 celebrated Kannada authors, okay, short story writers. Ravi Belagare, Keshav Malgi, Kumveer Bhadrappa, and myself, all like BT, big celebrated names are there from my district. But all of us use a dialect. It is very different from each other, because dialects are so much associated with the caste. If you are from one caste, your dialect is different. If you are from another caste, your dialect is different. And the whole perspectives which I write is different from whole perspective the other person write. It's unimaginable that we both are from the same district. That's how it happens actually. So the Kumvi comes from a lower class, this thing, and his most of the word is completely based on the rebel word actually for me. For me, I come from a Brahmin family, which poverty is the most important thing there in the Brahmins actually. So always they were in poverty in Bellary district. Even today I can see that poverty is very high. So this thing will be the poverty actually. So the poverty and still struggling and importance for the education, how it will be taken it forward. And within all that, their own superstitions actually. They suffer with the superstitions. So that was my theme. So each one will have its own beauty. So I tell every one of you here have beautiful stories to tell, but only some of them tell and others don't tell. As simple as that. So there is no question of where you are coming from, which time period you are coming from, which gender you belong to. None of them matters. Everyone has unique, beautiful story that needs to be told.
இந்த விடை ஆங்கிலத்திற்கு மொழிபெயர்ப்பு அவசியமில்லை என்று நினைக்கிறேன். என்னுடைய வினாவை எழுத்தாளர் அவர்கள் ஒரு பிறந்த இடத்தை வைத்துக்கொண்டு நாம் இலக்கியத்தை அப்படி ஒட்டுமொத்தமாக பாகுபடுத்தி விட முடியாது என்பதாக எதிர்கொண்டார். நன்றி. நண்பர்கள் தங்கள் வினாக்களின் மூலம் இந்த அரங்கை இன்னும் அழகுபடுத்தலாம். No. I requested them to ask questions.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. Many congratulations to you. And you're a pioneer in, I think I have asked any questions. There is no restrictions about your personal
No, I'm a public man, so you can
okay.
ask any question.
Okay, thank you so much. Because art liberates people, I think, like you, Neeraj, gave on all. After the success in writing and film, and you have announced your gender preference and your queer identity. I have read your Mohanasamy series the stories. most of the stories are about the experiences of coming of age persons experience, and I found many fun element, humor in the stories, some of the stories in that. Normally, people, even now in society, people tend to make fun of the people in movies, in other writings, we can see outside also. But in your stories, you have really combined that element very well, and everybody could enjoy. Is it for you want to normalize the life of a queer people, or you want to cover a wider range of audience for your writing? Don't you feel will it instead of normalize, will it not dilute the main purpose of your movement, sir?
Thanks for that question. For others to make it more clear, I am the first open and out proud gay man in Kannada literature. Okay, so with my book Mohana Swami, I have declared to the society, and I have given interviews about my sexuality, and I accepted my queerness, and I'm very happy and very proud. So what happened? Why did I write that book? Actually, so first that I'll tell you, and then I'll come to your question. What happened? Say I was that book is not my first book. That's my 13th book, actually. So I was in a closet. So I was not talking to anyone about my sexuality, and I also did not even meet another gay man. So I was that scared, actually. So homophobia, internal homophobia is much higher than the straight person having a homophobia. Like homophobia means fear of a gay man or fear of a queer man. So straight guys, they will have much less compared to the homosexual himself, because for him it's so scary moment. So what I was thinking is, already I have written 12 books. I was so popular actually in Kannada. See, my most of the books sell well. I'm the bestseller. So sorry, I have to tell this, but my books are the bestseller in Kannada. So this Namamma and Nangishta, that one which is about my mother, I have sold more than 30,000 copies, and each book generally I sell 20,000 copies, like that. So my books are highly read in Karnataka. So I was in high of all that recognition in the society. So everyone recognizes me, everyone calls me everywhere. I think I can just be as an author, and I can enjoy that aura which is coming to me, and I can ignore this sexuality, is what I thought, and I kept quiet. And afterwards I went into a deep depression. The depression was so much that depression gradually it starts. Depression doesn't come one day, right? It gradually starts, and after I realized I could not sleep for almost 3 weeks. Not even once minute I could sleep, because I know what is going through. I definitely need a partner. I definitely need this thing, but I'm hiding it, actually. So I'm not expressing anywhere. Then when I became 2-3 weeks, I could not sleep. I thought I will die. So I'm going to die. So the suicidal thoughts became very high. So once you don't sleep for weeks together, you will get suicidal thoughts. Then I went to psychiatry, and I told all my problems. I shared with them. But Indian society, even psychiatrists are also homophobic. So unfortunately, most of the psychiatric doctors are homophobic only. And now things are changing slightly better. So they gave me antidepressants to take. So okay, you take antidepressants. So okay, I started taking the antidepressants. But outside medicine can help you only 50%. It cannot cure you 100%. I said solution has to come from inside. It cannot come from the outside. It has to come from the inside. So what do I do? So depression means you are not happy. So I have to do something which it makes me happy. Right? I knew that story writing is the skill which I have, because I already written 12 books and everyone knows me very well. I have that skill. Because I'm not telling the truth, so I have to start writing stories about my own life, my own experiences. Till now, I have hidden that from my this thing. I started writing in the name of a Mohana Swami. So Mohana Swami is the main character, but it's most of the stories are mine only. So almost all of them are mine only, except 1 or 2. So I started writing. Believe me, after writing 1 or 2 stories, I could sleep. It's miracle. Like I started sleeping. Then I knew where is the solution for my problem. So I started writing openly and I gave interviews and all. So everyone I told and all. But that's it. But when fun part comes, actually it's Mohana Swami, it is much less actually as far as the fun is concerned. My style is that. I'm known for the humor. So my Namamma and Nangishta, if you take, you can laugh and you can cry. So both you can do. So that's my style itself is humor and emotion. So that's what I had done it. But humor exists in everyone's life, whether you are an LGBT or whether you are a straight, humor is going to exist. See, for example, I'll tell you, say, I in Bangalore, no, bachelors, it's very difficult to get the, once upon a time I'm talking about, bachelors, it's difficult to get a rent. Room rent, okay. So I went for, I had a job in Bangalore, so I went there, and I had this thing. A owner came and said, "I won't give you to the bachelors." I said, "No, sir, I won't do anything. I don't drink, I don't smoke, and all." I started, and he had a good-looking daughter. So his worry is that I'll do something to his daughter, kind of a thing. So and finally he took courage and said, "You cannot bring any girl to the room." I said, "I will never bring a girl to the room, sir. But do you mind if I bring a boy?" He said, "No problem, you can bring any number of boys." See, he doesn't know what I'm talking about, but I don't know. I'm finding it so funny, actually. So such fun moment happens every day in our life. Okay, so every day it happens. That you have to bring as part of the story. It's a narration style. I am not here to ask your sympathy for an approval of my queerness, right? I'll tell you why you have to tell. Actually, see, people keep on asking me, why do you go and tell about yourself? Why do you have to accept, you say that you are a gay? It gives you confidence. It gives you courage. And it makes you more beautiful. I'll tell you one example and I'll close this. Actually, so one is like, see, I live in a big apartment, very big apartment. It's called as Mantri Paradise. Okay. So in Mantri Paradise, what happens is, long back, whenever I'm living there from past 25 years. So whenever a courier comes, these courier boys generally call from the security and they say, "Sir, you have a courier," right? As soon as they say, "Sir, you have a courier," I take the phone and say, "Hello." Say, "Oh, madam, there is a courier," because my voice is effeminate. It's a feminine voice. I have a feminine voice. So when they say that, I used to feel very bad and I used to cry a lot. Okay, so the entire day I used to suffer. Why he is calling me as a madam? Why can't he call me as sir? So why is my voice is like that? How can I change my voice? And all I was doing. But afterwards, once I started accepting it, okay, I am like this. My actions are effeminate. It's like a female. My voice is like a female. My walk is like a female. So what is the problem? So let me accept it. I started accepting. It's not for a one day's job. It takes a lot of time, actually, years together to come to that stage. Once I accepted, now I got the courage. Now the same courier boys who are very young, good looking and all, they call from there saying that, "Madam, there is a courier," after listening to my hello. So I said, yeah, madam is alone at the home. Please come. Okay, they come all the way like thinking that madam is alone means there is something fishy here. Okay, so and they calling bell they bring and I open the door. They say, "Madam." "Yeah, I am the madam of this house. Give the courier." And that incident, looking at his face, right, Frenzy face, like he has been surprised with that, right? Looking at imagining his face of that moment, I can laugh entire day. The same incidents, same people, but the feelings are different. That is the beauty of acceptance, right? Otherwise, why do I have to accept? So I do have to tell everyone is that thing, actually. Even now, someone asked me, see, we never go and tell that I'm a straight anywhere, saying that I'm a straight. So why do you have to tell? We all, okay, if you are a gay, be a gay. No, it's not like that. Because when you are 27, your mother shows you nice, good-looking girls' photos and asks you, whom do you want to get married? When I am 27, my mother will never bring good-looking, handsome boy's photo and show me whom do you want to marry. That's why till my mother, means my mother is not no more, but any gay man's mother, till she gets a courage to show good-looking gay boy's photo to her son and say, whom do you want to date with? I'm going to talk about the gay life wherever I go. That's my duty.
மோகனசாமியினுடைய உள்ளடக்கம் பற்றி இன்னும் ஆழமாக நாம் பேச வேண்டிய தேவை இருக்காது என்று நினைக்கிறேன். அதனுடைய ஒட்டுமொத்த சித்திரத்தையும் எழுத்தாளர் முன்வைத்து விட்டார். என்னுடைய கேள்வி, மோகனசுவாமி சிறுகதைகளினுடைய அது அடைந்திருக்கக்கூடிய வடிவ நேர்த்தி குறித்த ஒரு கேள்வியை முன்வைக்கலாம் என்று நினைக்கிறேன். ஒரு சிறுகதை உச்சகட்ட திருப்பத்தை இறுதியில் முன்வைக்க வேண்டும் என்று நாம் எதிர்பார்த்தோம் என்றால், அப்படி அமையும் சிறுகதைகளை நாம் கொண்டாடினோம் என்றால், நம்முடைய தேர்வில் சேர்ந்து கொள்ளக்கூடிய சில கதைகள் மோகனசுவாமி தொகுப்பிலும் இருக்கின்றன. அந்த வடிவ நேர்த்தி குறித்து அது முன்வைக்கக்கூடிய உள்ளடக்கத்தினுடைய ஒரு 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 புதுமை, நம் மரபில் ஒரு அதிர்ச்சி, ஒரு புதுமை கடந்து அதனுடைய கலை அழகு குறித்து யாராவது எழுத்தாளரிடம் கேட்டிருக்கிறாரா என்ற ஒரு கேள்வியை நான் உங்கள் சார்பில் முன்வைக்கலாம் இருக்கிறேன். நண்பர்கள் அடுத்த வினாவுடன் தயாராகும் வரை. ಸರ್, ಮೋಹನಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಕಥೆಗಳ ಅದರ ಥೀಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಸರ್. ಆ ಕಥೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂಥ ಆ ರೂಪಕಲ್ಪನೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಒಂದು ಕತೆ ಅದು ಕೊನೆಗೊಂಡ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ರೂಪುಗೊಳ್ಳುವ ವಿಧಾನ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕಿಳಿಮಾಂಜಾರೋ ಕತೆ, ಆ ಕಥೆಯಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ ದೇವರಿಂದ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಬೇಬಿ ಹತ್ರ, ಡೇವಿಡ್ ಹತ್ರ. ಅವ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬಂದು ಆ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ ದೇವರ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ನನಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವ ವೇಳೆ ಆ ಕಿಳಿಮಾಂಜಾರೋ ಮೌಂಟನ್ ಹಾಗೆ ಬರ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗುವ ಒಂದು ಇದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್. ಸೊ ಆ ಕಥೆಯ ಆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಿಂದ ಆ ಕತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದಾಗಿ ಬದಲಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಈಸ್ಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಅಂಶ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಈವೊಂದು ಮೋಹನಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಥೀಮ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಸಮಾಜ ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿತ್ತು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Another quality of mine is I'm a great hiker. You just show me a mountain, I'll hike it. So, and it's very rare that an youngster can compete with me. Okay, so I recently, just 2 months back, I climbed Tirumala, just a simple mountain. So Tirumala from the bottom, this thing, Alapiri, right? Yeah, from the Alapiri, this thing, in 1 hour 52 minutes I climbed actually. So I'm very good at hiking. Okay, it's very interesting, and that's also associated with the sexuality. In the childhood, I thought that I'm not good at the sports at all. Because if I go and start playing with the boys, so especially the sports they play is cricket, right? Generally cricket or the kabaddi were the main games which were played in my village. If I go and join them in the cricket, if I throw a ball, they think it's like you are throwing like a girl. So immediately they all start laughing, and I lose my confidence. I cannot play a game. And similarly, whenever I was going with the kabaddi, so it was so difficult for me. Like if I say kabaddi, 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 again they start laughing when I say kabaddi. So I thought I am not a person supposed to be in the sports. Sports is not mean to me. So sports is for someone else cup of tea. It's not mine. So I came out of I never played sports in my life. Actually, almost till 35, I didn't play sports. But once I accepted myself, once I said that it's okay, it's fine, that they can laugh, but still I should not lose the confidence, I realized that I'm good at sports. It's so strange. Almost at 34, 35, I started playing squash in my apartment. I was one of the best players of the apartment actually. So I used to play. And then I went to hiking actually. I learned hiking. So hiking, like, big mountain, Kilimanjaro, I have successfully climbed. Mount Kailash, this Kailash Parikrama I was able to do. Even last month also I went and climbed another Himalayan mountain. So I'm very good at it. So then I realized sports is nothing to do with your sexuality. The society which is causing so much of a problem, damage. So that's why your confidence comes down. You will not be able to play sports. So that's what which I realized. But that's one part. And as far as this question is concerned, what happens is actually the Kilimanjaro, when I was climbing, see, as you go up and up, this thing, no, oxygen level comes down. See, this is hiking problem is that one only. Big mountains hiking problem is what? The oxygen level in the atmosphere comes down. When it comes down, not many people can survive in that area. It's called as dangerous zone. After 4,000 meters, it's called as a dangerous zone. So you enter into the dangerous zone. Dangerous means anybody can die there actually. So it's 6,000 meters actually, 6,000 meter high. So when I was going, like I'm an atheist actually generally, I don't believe in the God. In the beginning itself, I kept on saying that. But what happens is, once after I crossed the 4,000 meter, okay, my condition became so tough actually. You had to climb, right? It's not easy actually. So every step is like a big task actually. You can't even keep one step forward. So that experience when I'm doing, like I started praying to the God. Right? So that they call in Kannada as Sankata Bandaga Venkata Ramana, they call. Maybe similar one might be there in Tamil also. So that after reaching that one, like I'm feeling, I was talking about my loneliness there actually. Kilimanjaro is like Kilimanjaro is actually Jwalamukhi Parvata, means it has got fire inside it, no? So what's it called? Volcano. So yeah, volcano. So that is one, but volcano is like become cold. It will never come out of it actually. So that's how the state is. It's a dead volcano. So I was thinking my closetedness is like a volcano. It has to come erupt. So that's the metaphor which I bought actually. Kilimanjaro is doing the same thing as me. It has kept so much of fire inside, but it's not able to throw it out. So it has to throw it out is what. So that's the comparison I bought. But once I come to the ground and I got the certificate, you start getting the oxygen. When oxygen sufficiently is there, you're back to your normal. So I said, I'm atheist. I don't believe in God. So that change actually made me very funny actually. Oh God, like there I definitely remembered the God. But now when I come down, everything oxygen is normal. No God at all. The God is just a creation of a man. So that change I wanted to capture. Though it is a gay story, but all other elements have to come. It cannot live with only the gay themes, right? So all other elements also has to come. So that's how I bought that Kilimanjaro theme. And yeah. Oh, Kannada is very good now, right? After I wrote the Mohana Swami, people initially they cried actually. So why did you write such kind of a book? Okay, because I had big fan following. They never knew anything about my sexuality, so they found it very difficult to digest that. Why did you write? Why did you write? So they were not happy. And gradually, they started accepting it. Within 2 years, 3 years, like I became another celebrity, you know, like everywhere they used to call and ask me, talk about this subject and all. I know how society change comes. I'll give you an example and the change in the society, how it comes once you open the, once you break the ice breaking, which we call, someone has to do the ice breaking. So I had a fan, a very good fan, a mother and her son. Both of them are my big fans. So they read every book I write, every story I write, they read. And that mother and son, both of them have read Mohana Swami. And the mother called me saying that, Vasu, I spoke to my son. His son had not married even till 30. Okay, he was already 30 and he had not married. So after reading this book, and she has got a doubt, is this guy, my son is also like this or what? So what she has done, she has taken a courage and asked her son, are you Mohana Swami? She has asked. Means she can't use the word gay, right? She is like dubbing Mohana Swami for gay. Okay, she is asking her son, are you Mohana Swami? And he has told, Ma, I'm not at all. Give me another 1 year, I'll get married. Don't worry. So he has convinced it. So she is calling me and saying, thank God my son is not Mohana Swami. So now what happened? The beauty here is a traditional family where a mother is asking her son, are you a gay? Is a revolution. Is a revolution. Okay, so I was very happy. That change is what I could see. And now there is no problem. There are so many writers who are gay, lesbian, trans, every part of thing they are writing in Kannada. And in fact, one collection they bought recently where 25 gay men and lesbians and trans people wrote stories. The collection of that 25. So Kannada, it has brought a change. I'm a small man. See, literature, however famous we are not that famous actually. So literature people. But if a film personality, if it is a sports personality, if a cricket star claims that he is a gay, and they exist, don't assume that cricket star means they will not be a gay. Not at all. There are queer men there also. Film star, plenty. There will be plenty actually. If they claim, a superstar claims that I am also a queer, it gives confidence and courage to the lot of men who are suffering in the society. So that's important. And Karnataka has definitely received it very well. And I have sold that Mohana Swami more than 10,000 copies. That itself shows its success. And it has come in Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Marathi, Hindi, Spanish, and English. So those many languages have published that, which is quite a good receiver. And what was happening is actually, I talked too much, so just give me this thing. What was happening till then is actually, they always, gay literature means it was urban, means metro culture. That is the belief they all had. In fact, once I went to a Kerala to speak on Sahitya Academy side, so to a college actually. It's a village actually, village college. And I said, see, can I speak, because rather than speaking about literature and all, I'll speak about the LGBT and queerness to the college students. It will be very helpful, I told the principal. No, sir, our college is a very good college. Only village people come. They don't have anything like city people. They don't have any gay and lesbians. I said, if you don't want, I won't speak. But don't ever say that a village boy means he will not be a gay. So it is not anything which is someone city fellow has taken as a fashion, this kind of a lifestyle. I also come from a very small village. Please remember that is what to. Many have got this feeling that all these queer activities is more to do with the urban upper class people. It's all false. Show me any time, any place, there were gay men, there were queer men. You want India, or you want it America, you want it in Europe, anywhere you find, every time you can see there is a queer man. If I read history, I'm a history buff, okay, so I read a lot of history. So I can see everywhere queer man. So even famous kings are queer. I can make out that. So let us not hide. Let us not act in a hypocrisy.
Sir. Sir, good evening, sir. Kali Prasad here, this side.
Yeah.
Okay. So, very first time we read your story, which happened in the year of 2015.
Yeah.
Ooty. We had meet in Ooty. So that time we read the story, Red Parrot. Red Parrot, yes. So where we actually got admired is the metaphor you create in your stories. Your story is for a kind of, as a learning, I read your stories, how you handle the metaphors in the Red Parrot. Or in the Mohana Swami, one story will be there. One story is there where one sewage line is there and he is jumping, he is fell down to the sewage line. And he is still smelling that. So it is somewhat that metaphor, right? That because that his identity is totally trolled by the village people, that you compare with the sewage line. So how for this metaphor you have any inspiration? How you create in your stories? That is one question. Then next question is Kannada literature got influenced by Western literature, like how it happened in Tamil? Postmodernism, magical realism, those trends have come. Like that, is any trend happened in Kannada literature? Because I read Bhairappa stories, Vivek Shenbach and your stories only. I don't see that trend influence there. So this is my doubt.
I think second question I'll answer first. That's the best one actually. See, our senior generations, that's a Navya movement we call, modern movement, they had a lot of influence from the Westerners. Okay, so they used to read a lot of English books and they used to have an influence of that. But my generation, we don't have that kind of influence only. Maybe because we are more confident. For me, like the role model for me, for my writing, if you ask me who are the most influential authors in for me, two people. One is Veda Vyasa, another one is Valmiki. I have read Mahabharata and Ramayana, like I'm an expert in both subject actually. That much I have read. I have not written much, but I have read so much, and I feel like whether Valmiki knew how to narrate story far better than many of us here actually. So that's the influence I have, and learning English is very recent phenomena for me. Like after engineering college only, so then I started learning a little bit. And then I was not even reading the English newspaper. I always used to read Kannada newspaper, Kannada books, like that I was. Only after little later, once I went to the corporate, Oppa, you have to write English emails, right? So someone will find out all your mistakes and all. Luckily, these youngsters are so lucky now. Artificial intelligence corrects all your mistakes and sends you beautiful English emails. You don't have to know the English only, right? So that is that. So that is the time I have learned. So I have not read English at all. So where will be the influence for me on the Western arts? But indirect influence will be there. Because if I read Anantmurthy has got a lot of influence from the English authors. So I might have an indirect influence on that one. But most of the things, generally I'm not so much a person who gets influenced so easily. I believe my stories are beautiful. My experiences are unique. That I need to narrate. So I always been very unique with my subjects. My subjects are pretty strange. Maybe I can tell you, one of my essays is so famous actually. There was one, I don't know whether it exists here or not. There was a Kashi theatre in, still is there. Kashi theatre, it was very near to Westmamblam. Somewhere I was staying in Westmamblam, and there was a Japan film they were screening. So I was very fond of art films, okay? So me, my friend, and a couple of my friends who were working in, colleagues who were working in TCS, we all went to Kashi theatre, and they started Japanese film and so many people are coming. I was wondering, like, how come for Japanese film so many people are coming? Within half an hour, 1 hour, they started showing blue film in Kashi theatre. Okay, so that after they showed some 25 minutes, 30 minutes blue film, and afterwards, actually, they stopped it. And everyone went home. And only we three are sitting here saying that we need Japanese film. Okay, they said nobody stays after this film is over, sir. So then I forced him to show the Japanese film again. But when they started that beautiful Japanese film, it started looking very dull in that age, So none of us are interested in that one. So we came back home. So that itself will be a story. That's very unique of my story only. So I don't depend on anybody else's experiences. But that's how the metaphor is something very different. I never try to force a metaphor in my story. Okay, for me the metaphor is, if you remove it, the story will not work. That should be the metaphor. Like, it should be part of the story. Kannada became so much influence on the metaphors. By force, they used to bring metaphors in the stories, especially this modern Navya movement, actually, which we call Chittal, Anantmurthy and all. If a snake comes, okay, snake means it's a symbol of sex for them. Whenever the snake comes, they only talk about the sex. I was telling, this snake will get so angry, it will kill all the... Whenever they come across with any modern story writer of Kannada, modern author, it's going to bite them, is what I used to say. So I don't want that kind of a metaphor by forcefully fitting it. For me, it should be part of the story. If you take the red parrot, if you remove the red parrot, the story is incomplete. So that much it should be. Kilimanjaro is a part of the story. If I remove Kilimanjaro, the story doesn't exist. The metaphor has to be engraved. It cannot be separated out of your story. Then only it is successful. But I'm not a person who strives for so much of metaphor. For me, the emotions are more important. Humor is important. And honesty. See, literature honesty is very different compared to the reality honesty, right? But for me, literature honesty is there to some extent. I say, I tell truth only. I will not lie. So that is very, very important for me.
Sir, the question is from Moganaswamy. It has truth and depthness both. I like that very much. And also the emotional part was so good. But in your story, you have addressed Mohanaswamy in a very depth manner compared to the person who heard Mohanaswamy, like Amma and Karthik. Karthik. In one word, you are just crossing the Karthik. Like he don't know why he did that, why he heard that Mohanaswamy. And you are not addressing Karthik in a depth manner compared to Mohanaswamy. It is your cautious decision, or in your other works you do the same?
Yeah. It's very interesting. I thought people will ask more questions on my mother's stories because that's very famous actually. Now I'm getting more questions on Mohanaswamy. I'm very thankful to that because we need to talk more on the queer subjects. So Mohanaswamy, no, it's based, it's the protagonist himself as Mohanaswamy, right? So I am only focusing on him because it's me. I know what is going on with me, what is the emotions which I am going through, everything I'm aware of it. So naturally the story is tending towards the Mohanaswamy only. Okay, so that's what. In fact, in that first story which you are talking about, there is a episode where, though in the beginning, though he's an atheist, but in the beginning he loves Krishna. Right? You can see that scene where he imagines having sex with Krishna. Mohanaswamy. It's a very, very controversial thing actually. But why did I bought it? Is I know that Meera has done the same thing. Meera imagines Krishna as her husband. In Kannada, Akka Mahadevi imagines Mallikarjuna as her husband. So Shiva as her husband. So why can't a gay man imagine Krishna as her partner, his partner? So I bought that in that story purposefully. So, but it's very much centric to the Mohanaswamy character only because I'm trying to write an autobiography almost. So that's why it has become. But it is not a conscious one. I won't be that conscious while writing. I think it just goes on. Like the consciousness is a bit less in my writing actually. It just happens. The way things goes, it happens. Yeah. But it's all, see, more than, I think, 15 years over, all these stories I wrote. When I wrote, 2009 is when I wrote this Mohanaswamy story. I was so scared. I didn't want to publish at all. So I kept it like that only. But afterwards, I got courage and sent it to Vivek Shanbhog. See, just check it out if it can be published. And he could make out that it's without a personal experience, you cannot write such kind of a story. So he said, no, I'm going to publish it. I'm going to publish it. So I said, like, what do I do? Like, if I had to publish, then what to do and all. And I did, like, what I did is I used a pen name as Shanmukha. Shanmukha is the pen name which I use because in my side it's very different. Here it is different. Here it's a Shanmukha is assumed as has got two wives actually, right? So so Devasena and Valli and Devasena is in my side. My place also there is a Shanmukha temple actually. Our story is very different. He doesn't marry at all. Okay, his mother Parvati, she goes to Kanyakumari, and Kanyakumari she takes a oath saying that she agrees to marry her son, and she comes to comes back to my place, and she tells her son, no, I have found a girl, she's so beautiful, she's in Kanyakumari area, so she's going to marry you. So I have promised her that my son will marry you. So he says, okay, fine, I'm going to marry, and he asks her question. How is she looks like? How is she? Oh, she's so beautiful. She just looks like me, she says. Okay, then what happens when Parvati says that one? He says, she becomes my mother. I'm not going to marry. Okay, Parvati gets angry. how can you disobey my order? So I have promised her, Kanyakumari, that I am going, my son is going to get married. So I said like, okay, if that is the case, he says, no, I have once, if she is looking like you, I am not going to marry her. Then she says, till today, whatever the milk I have given to you, throw that milk, all that. So he keeps on throwing the milk. Okay, she doesn't, her anger doesn't come down. And afterwards, she starts even throwing the blood also. Okay, then she gets scared and she says, stop. And then he gets very angry and says, from today onwards, including you, I'll not see any woman's face. Okay, and that's why the temple, Parvati is this side and Kumaraswamy is this side, and for the Kumaraswamy, no woman is allowed, it's only men is allowed. So this is the story which you had. So for me always, this Kumaraswamy should be gay, okay, that's the feeling which I had. Because some silly excuse giving not to get married means, saying that just because he's not, she looks like my mother, I don't want to marry. I felt it's too silly to give a reason, and also not to see any woman in my life. I don't want to see any woman. He's escaping from the marriage, he should be gay. So I started putting a pen name as Shanmuka for that reason. Okay, I put the Shanmuka. And after that story got published, I started getting appreciation indirectly. Everyone is saying, who has written this story? It's so beautiful story, such a wonderful story. Everywhere people are talking. And then I got the courage and I published it in my name. Okay, those who praised that story so well when they didn't know who is the author, after it's published in my name in a book form, they kept quiet. They never opened up. So those things are quite funny for me, as those all the experiences which I had. But whatever it is, so I think it's a very courageous act to write Mohanaswamy. I'm glad I did, but it's not something greatness about me. I feel it's about Kannada. Kannada knows when to get which story to be published. See, if not me, Kannada would have convinced another person, another author, another lady to write those stories. I became just an excuse to write those stories. I'm aware of that.
இன்னும் ஒரு வினாவுடன் நாம் இந்த அரங்கை
I have a
நிறைவு
question.
செய்கிறோம்.
Sir, my question.
Yeah.
Sakti, are you here, sir?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. My question also from Mohanaswamy, but it's form. You write this collection of stories, short stories. Why would you choose the short story collection rather than novel?
I think I should have written a novel. That would have been a better act actually. But at that time I was not confident that I could write a novel. I was not having the experience of writing a novel. Now I repent. I should have made it into a novel. But I wrote in the various times. I started writing one chapters actually. That's why it became a short story collection. And now it's too different. What I write is very different. Very interestingly, see, your public image changes every now and then. You should not keep the same image all the time with the public, right? In the initial days when I was writing, I was a village writer and Brahmins writer like that, because I only wrote about my village, my lifestyle and all that. And later on when I wrote my mother, it became popular, so popular, the mother of this thing. So everyone starts talking, writes only about his mother. So every Mother's Day, so my article will be there in every newspaper, okay? So I'll be in great demand on Mother's Day. Then I thought it's so dangerous, it should not happen. Then Mohanaswamy came. So Mohanaswamy erased everything else, whatever I wrote before, and everyone started talking about queer. So I became a gay author. Wherever I go, people start putting me only in the LGBT discussion, and they forgot that I'm an author. So I thought there is something going wrong. Now I had to change my image again. Now my recent 2 novels are historical novels. So one is Tejo Tungabhadra, which is written in the period is 15th and 16th century between the Lisbon and Vijayanagar. So that's a huge novel, big novel. So I wrote that. And the next latest novel is about the 2nd century. Not even this now period. 2nd century, not even India. It is about China. 2nd century China, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and Iran. So these countries I have taken and I have written a novel. Now I have become a historian. Everyone, anything related with history, so people come to me to clarify the historical doubts and other things. So the image has kept changing, which is helpful for any author. Don't get branded that you write only this kind of a writing. Never, never. So keep changing that.
எழுத்தாளராகவும் மலையேற்ற வீரராகவும் பதிப்பாளராகவும் மொழிபெயர்ப்பாளராகவும் என்ற பன்முக ஆளுமை கொண்ட எழுத்தாளர் வசுதேந்திரா அவர்களுடன் உரையாடக்கூடிய வாய்ப்பு அமைந்தது. நான் இதை எழுதாவிட்டாலும் வேறு யாராவது எழுதியிருப்பார்கள். எதை எப்படி எப்போது எழுத வேண்டும் என்று கன்னட மொழிக்கு தெரியும் என்ற ஒரு வாக்கியத்தை போகிற போக்கில் அவர் சொல்லிக்கொண்டு சென்றார். மொழியின் வலிமை குறித்தும் இலக்கியத்தின் வலிமையும் நாம் புரிந்து கொள்வதற்கான ஒரு வாய்ப்பாக இந்த ಉರೆಯಾಡಲು எடுத்துಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಸರ್, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಂದ ಬಂದು ಇಷ್ಟು ದೂರ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿದೆ ಸರ್. ತಮ್ಮ ನಾವಲ್ಗಳನ್ನು ತಾವು ಬರೆಯುವ ಮತ್ತು ಕಥೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮತ್ತು ಎದುರುಗೊಳ್ಳುವ ಸಂದರ್ಭ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ಸಂವಾದಗಳು ಬರುವ ನಮಗೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸರ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
I would like to thank the entire Vishnupuram group, especially Mr. Jai Mohan. Otherwise, I would not have been introduced. Such a lovely gathering it is, because I could see that everyone is interested in the literature in this group. It's not just a public which is walked into the group, right? So it's a curated group which is interested in the literature. It is an opportunity for me to talk to such a crowd. See what has happened once upon a time, like 35 years back, there was a lot of exchange of literature between Kannada and Tamil. Now it has stopped. Okay? Only now we are introducing Jai Mohan. This is the second book which is coming. It's so sad. He's already nearing 60 and now we are introducing his book. We should be talking about Vijay Ravanan's book actually in Kannada now actually, because he has written here. Now that book should be read actually. But it takes almost 30 to 40 years before an author book comes in another language. I think there is a need to break this. We should bring the contemporary voices of our neighbor languages at least. Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, whatever is there, we should bring them to our language and translate it to the other language. Now another devil has come, which is English. Everyone wants their book in only in English and nothing about other languages, you know, like that is also very dangerous. First, we should talk about translating between our Dravidian languages, or maybe it could be the Indo-Aryan languages like Hindi, Gujarati and all. We should focus on that first for our existence. Then the respect for each other will increase. Okay, then I'll come to know such beautiful authors are there in this language. But till recently, till 3 years back, I didn't know Jai Mohan. I had not read him at all. Only this Premada translated the story of the true. We were mesmerized actually. So how beautiful these stories are. Okay, it's sad. And still that one incident happened, some controversy incident happens with Perumal Murugan. We had not read, we had never heard of Perumal Murugan only, which is sad. That we should not wait for some controversy to happen or some big award to come. Before that itself, we should read our neighbor writers' books. Let us hope translations will help. As a publisher, I have translated enough books. Like we have out of 110 books I have published till today. So from past 21 years, I'm a publisher. From 21 years, I have published around 110 books. Out of that, 36 books are translations. So I give lot of importance for the translation. So I look forward for more Tamil literature to be available in Kannada. I hope on the other side it will happen in similar way. Thank you very much. Thanks to everyone.
மிக்க நன்றி வசுதேந்திரா சார், தங்களுடைய விரிவான பதிலுக்கும் இந்த தீவிரமான உரையாடலுக்கும் மிக்க நன்றி. இப்போது வசுதேந்திரா அவர்களுக்கு நினைவு பரிசு வழங்குவதற்கு கவிதா சொர்ணவல்லி அவர்களை அழைக்கிறோம். இந்த நிகழ்வை மிக தீவிரமாக மொழிபெயர்த்து ஒருங்கிணைத்த பத்மநாபன் அவர்களுக்கு நினைவு பரிசு வழங்குவதற்கு கடலூர் சீனு அவர்களை அழைக்கிறேன்.